Hello, this is Claudia de Fuentes from the Sobey School of Business at St. Mary's University. In this session, we are going to be talking about inspiration and discovery. This is a very important phase of design thinking because discovery helps you build a solid foundation of your ideas. Creating meaningful solutions brings a deep understanding of the users. Discovery means opening up to new opportunities and getting inspired to create new ideas. With the right preparation, this can be eye-opening and will give you a good understanding of your design challenge. What you're going to be doing, you're going to be identifying who are those stakeholders that are relevant for your problem that you have at hand. You're going to identify the core users. You're going to identify the experts that can give you advice to understand the problem better that you have at hand, and you also have other stakeholders that are relevant to the problem. So, who are those core users? The core users are the people that you're going to be designing for. Those are the core individuals that you want to understand better, that you want to understand the behavior better, because at the end of the day, you're going to be designing a solution for them. So it's important to identify those core users, but within the core users, identifying who are the extreme users. Extreme users mean those people, either two things. Those people that adopt the solution early in the game, those are the ones that are really encouraged to test something new, to give you feedback. So you want to understand, you want to engage with them early in the game to get feedback fast from them. Extreme users might also refer to those people that have a specific need that goes beyond the media of the people. Perhaps they refer to extreme sports. Perhaps they refer to children. Perhaps they refer to the older population. Perhaps they refer to some people that have above needs from the ones of the average population. For example, think about driving a car. The average population might drive the car to go to work, to come back, or maybe to go to the supermarket and to come back. Maybe the extreme user in this case could be a taxi driver that has to drive the car every day for more than 8 hours a day. So you get what could be an extreme user. In this session, I want, after you identify who are your core users and your extreme users, you're going to be engaged in conducting secondary research. Secondary research is very important because, yes, design thinking is about human-centered design, but you also need to have a good understanding in terms of what does the problem mean, in terms of what has been done before, in terms of why is that a problem, right? So understanding the problem is all about understanding what can we do better to address the problem. So understanding the context is important. Understanding the history and data that can give you more information on the problem that you have at hand is essential for that. So I definitely recommend to conduct and to engage in secondary research before you go and conduct the interviews and primary research that you will need to conduct later. So many challenges can be thorny. That is why secondary research is essential and can be conducted online by accessing academic journals. You can also access reports from international organizations, from the government, and you can also perhaps engage into some identification of data that can be relevant to you. So a firm foundation of knowledge is the best place to begin with design thinking. Okay? So there's, according to the evidence-based management framework, there's 4 main sources of information, secondary information, that you will need to dig into. The first one refers to academic journals. For that, you can access library databases, for example, to identify what is relevant to the problem that you have at hand. The second one refers to practitioner information, that information that comes from international organizations, that comes from the government, that comes from different industrial organizations, and that gives you a good understanding of the context of the problem that you have at hand. The next one refers to the context. And for that, you need to have your eyes open in terms of where you can get that information. That information can come, of course, from reports, from organizations, from associations, that can come from the news, that can come from data that is available online from government and from statistic offices. And the last point that is also relevant for evidence-based management has to do with the stakeholders. Those stakeholders that we were talking about at the beginning, the users, the experts, and so on. Okay? So, and that has to do with how are you going to collect the data? You're going to collect the data by engaging into primary research. Those are the interviews that you're going to be talking about. We are going to be talking more about the interviews in our next session. In this session, I want to talk more about secondary sources of information that has to do with relevant academic research, with the context, and with practitioner information.